A washed-up celebrity, in an attempt to regain public attention, resorted to faking his own death to attract attention. The man's plan was to have his agent hold a funeral for him first. After the funeral was over, the agent would secretly dig him up. On the day of the funeral, many guests arrived. A large screen played the movies the man had acted in during his life. People lamented the loss of the young actor. However, the man was inside the coffin, watching the live broadcast of his own funeral. Everything was going according to his plan. The news of his death caused a sensation in society. The man began to celebrate because the funeral would not only bring him back into the spotlight but also earn him tens of millions of dollars in gifts. Soon, it was evening and the guests had left. But on the way to the cemetery, the agent got into a car accident. The man was stunned. The agent was the only person who knew about the plan. If no one rescued him, he would suffocate in the coffin in no time. To save himself, the man hurriedly called his friends. But since they had just attended his funeral earlier that day, no one believed what he was saying. In the end, they even blocked his number. He then turned to his former female assistant for help. After a lot of effort to convince her, she was arrested as a mentally ill person while preparing to dig up the grave. Next, the man used his phone to call a taxi, offering to pay the driver $100,000 to rescue him. However, the driver thought he was crazy and hung up the phone. At this point, the man had only one option left: to ask a journalist for help, but doing so would completely expose his plan. In order to save his life, he told the journalist everything and asked for a video call to prove it. But when he thought the journalist would be interested in the news, the journalist called back and it turned out that the journalist didn't believe him at all. Instead, the journalist ridiculed his silly trick. Seeing this, the man was completely desperate. He used the last bit of battery on his phone to record a video message, leaving his final words. Then he closed his eyes and waited for death. In a daze, he seemed to see his friends and family. But at that moment, the coffin lid suddenly opened. The man couldn't believe it. The next second, the agent appeared in front of him. He stood up and saw that his friends were all standing nearby. It turned out that everything the man had done inside the coffin had been captured by hidden cameras. It was all part of the agent's plan. Now, as long as the man agreed, his real-life performance inside the coffin would be edited into a movie. The man was furious and tackled the agent to the ground. However, 6 months later, the man was living in a top-tier mansion. His real-life performance in the coffin had made him a top-tier celebrity.